Hi everybody, welcome and thank you for joining me for our onboarding webinar today for Houzz Pro. My name is Emma and I'm part of the support team here at Houzz and I'll be guiding you through today's session. In today's webinar session, we will be monitoring and answering all questions submitted throughout, but we'll also go through them together at the very end. So, as I mentioned, my name is Emma and I'm a support specialist for Houzz Pro. It's my role to make sure you're up to speed with how to use the software for your business, but also provide you with technical support. For example, maybe one day you're having trouble signing in or you're just unsure on how to use a particular feature. This is a screenshot of the support tool you can use to reach out to the support team. When we get into the software, I'll let you know exactly how you can reach out and use this tool, but basically this is how you'll be able to reach out if you have any questions after this webinar and throughout your subscription. Our support tool is quite comprehensive. So when we contact support, you submit us an inquiry through, and this comes as an emailed ticket. Our support team endeavors to get through all of your tickets within 24 hours. You'll notice that when the support team answers your ticket, it will be marked as solved. If you have any other inquiries, you'll need to go back into your Houzz Pro account into this section here and submit off a new ticket. I do not recommend answering tickets that have been marked as solved because when you do, this will not reach our support team and you will get an email bounce back which lets you know that this ticket is closed. So again, you'll need to come into your account and submit a new ticket off. The structure of today's webinar is a 30-minute demo of Houzz Pro. So we'll start off by going through the subscription types and where you can access your account settings to check your subscription type as well as cancel a 30-day free trial. We'll go through building up your Houzz profile as there are a couple of premium profile features that you do have access to. Account setup in Houzz Pro and in general how to utilize the software best for your business. At the very end, we'll do a 10 to 15 minute Q&A where we'll go through any questions that were not answered throughout the webinar session. So we'll start off with the subscription types. So we have three: Starter, Essential, and Ultimate. The majority of attendees of this webinar are Starter and Essential accounts. So Starter has access to online email support and is a single user. Essential has access to phone call and online email support. In Essential, you can invite 2 team members to join you in your workspace in Houzz Pro. Both Starter and Essential are very software heavy and focused. Then we've got Ultimate, which is our top tier and more set up for receiving leads and growing your business through Houzz. So if this is what you're after, then Ultimate is likely to be the best package for you. The majority of attendees of this webinar are Starter and Essential accounts. So because most of the accounts are Starter and Essential, I'll only spend about 5 minutes walking you through the premium profile features that are available to you because again, in this webinar, we've only got Starter and Essential, not Ultimate, which gives you that advertising aspect. So your profiles might be new, so most of it's blank, but feel free to come in, add in your logo, banner image, upload your projects, as well as if you're on the Essential package, add in your premium profile features. So the first one we have is Standouts, which lives right under the profile image. You can select up to 3 that just reflects what you offer and what you want clients to know about you. The second one is our sponsored headline at the very top of the profile, which summarizes what you do and where you do it. If you want to edit or add a new headline, just contact the support team and we can update that for you. The third premium profile feature is the highlight video, which sits at the top of your profile, basically combining all of the content from, for example, standouts, reviews, project photos into a 60-second video. The last premium feature we have is featured review. So when you build up your profile and you get reviews from clients, professional connections, you can actually come in and make one of your reviews boosted to the top of the list as a featured review, like we can see in this grey box here. So that's it for the Houzz profile, just a quick rundown. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the support team and then they'll walk you through it. So in terms of Houzz Pro software, you can click on Go to Houzz Pro in the top right hand corner and that'll bring you into your Houzz Pro software. So first thing I do recommend doing when you come into the software is bookmarking this tab. So we've got our address bar at the very top. On the right hand side, we've got that blue star. So that means that we've bookmarked this tab. That way we don't have to Google Houzz Pro or click on Go to Houzz Pro each time, it's just there waiting for us. Second thing I recommend doing is going straight into your account settings. So hovering over your Houzz and then hopping down to Houzz Pro settings. So this is going to give you a couple of options. So first thing I recommend doing is adding your team into Houzz Pro. So that way you can invite your team members and they can collaborate on your projects. We've got account, which links to branding, so you can upload your logo and that way it'll auto-populate on your proposals, invoices, all the way through to your emails. We've then got profile, which links back to that Houzz profile we just went through. Billing allows you to change or update the card on file for your subscription. And then the subscription tile allows you to look into your current subscription as well as the status of your 30-day free trial. So the 30-day free trial allows you to opt out of your subscription anytime within the first 30 days of your subscription. After the 30 days, this is when your payments start and your terms and conditions of your 12-month agreement kicks in. If you feel like during the free trial period the software is just not a fit for you and your business, you'll need to cancel your trial from within your account by clicking into subscriptions here. Just a reminder, we want to hover over your Houzz, hop down to Houzz Pro settings, and then click into subscriptions. If you want to continue with the free trial and your subscription, that there's no action needed because when the free trial ends, you just automatically roll into your 12-month agreement that you signed up for. We've then got financial, which is how you want to structure your products and services by default to be inclusive or exclusive of GST and your GST rate. Teams, so you can invite team members to join you in your workspace, like we said before, and then calendar. So what you can do is integrate your calendar, whether that's Google, Apple, and that way you can start scheduling in meetings with clients and also have notes on like to-do tasks and deadlines, things like that. So what we'll do now is open up our left-hand navigation bar. So in the top right-hand corner where we've got Houzz Pro logo, we want to click on those three dashes. So that's going to give us three portions: grow, manage, and learn. So grow is more tailored to the ultimate subscription type. So again, if you're interested in getting more leads and jobs in-house and just wanting more exposure throughout your markets, I would suggest reaching out and speaking with us. However, we've also got the website section, which is tailored for the ultimate and essential subscription types. So you can create your custom website. Below that, we've got manage, which again is more tailored for the starter and essential packages. So we've got that really software heavy and focused section. So we'll go through that in today's session. Below that, we've got learn, which is a really great space to find tips, tricks, all based on Houzz, collaborating with clients. So it is a good space to hop in there and see what you've got access to. So what we'll do is we'll start off within the project. So I'm going to click into our projects tab and start from square one along the life cycle of just a general flow of a project. So by clicking into our projects, we can have a look at all of the current ones we've got running at the moment. So what we can actually do is come into the top right hand corner and create a new project. First thing we can do is give it a project name. So we can give it by area, client name, however you would usually organize your projects, you can create it that way. Below that, we've got client details, project type, project code. We can split up all of our products per room, financial details like our budget, and project scope for additional information on the project. Once we have created that project, it'll list in the list below, and that way we can organize it per name, client, etc. Once we're in a project, we're looking in our project overview. So that gives us quick accesses of our recently viewed documents, messages sent back and forth, any tasks you've created, upcoming events of documents, and files sent back and forth. Our second tab is messages. So what you can do is actually email your client back and forth. To do that, you can type in a message in Write a Message box. You can either start from scratch and type. Otherwise, you can actually come in and create a saved reply. By default, you'll have 3 in there. It just saves you typing it each time. Otherwise, you can actually customize your own. So you can come into your saved replies, click on customize replies, and then start creating your own or edit ones you've already created. Once you've sent that message off, it'll come up as sent. Once the client reads it, it'll then reflect that as read. So you can always check the latest status and know if you need to follow up. Another thing you can do is attach files, images, or format like you usually would an email, and link. The next tab we have is room boards. So this is where I would recommend starting off within a project. So before we start creating a mood board, we need to link in products. So first thing we want to do is start sourcing our products to build up our library. So what we need to do is install the product clipper. To do that, what I recommend doing is searching up the help center. So clicking on need help in the bottom right hand corner, searching the help center of the product clipper, and then hitting enter. So the help center allows you to look through articles, webinars, how-tos based on whatever you have searched up. So by searching up the product clipper, we'll see any relevant articles with that keyword search, but also give us the link on how to download the product clipper. So once we have got it installed, what it will do is come up in the very top right hand corner as that blue leaf, and that way we're ready to start sourcing. So what I've done is just opened up another tab, Google the supplier, I've chosen Globe West, and what we want to do is add this product into our Houzz Pro library. So to do that, all I need to do is hover over the image and click on the blue leaf that comes up. Something to note is that the first image that you clip is going to be the first image in your thumbnail, so we might want a front-on image. Once you've clicked that blue leaf, it'll then auto-populate into the top right-hand corner, which is the first image of the 5 you can grab. Another thing I'd like to highlight is that if some supplier websites have thumbnail images, so little images that you click on and then large, I would recommend clipping the large image rather than the small thumbnail, because the thumbnail will eventually blur on your more official documents because it's sizing and stretching the image. So always clip the image that's large. So I'm just going to continue through and click the blue leaf each time so my client's got a couple of angles of this product so they understand exactly what it looks like. Once I've got all 5 images, I'm going to go through and start grabbing my text. So what I want to do is click, drag, release, and that's going to give me a drop-down menu which allows me to select what particular piece of information I want this to autofill in. Next thing I'm going to do is grab my cost and my markup. So this section here, what I want to say is that this cost is trade or wholesale. So obviously on this website we've got full retail being displayed, but what I want to do is pop in my trade price. Eventually that cost price is going to go onto your purchase orders, so you always want to make sure that you're putting the cost that you pay as the designer. Next we've got a markup. So if we want to add a standard markup percentage, we can always pop that percent in there, click on the little calculator icon, and that's going to give me a breakdown of exactly what 15% 800 is. If I want to change my client price, so if I want to add in the full retail that's displayed on the website, I can add that in and it'll automatically do the math for me. That way I just click in set, and that way every time I charge this to my client, they'll be charged full retail. I can then say if these prices are GST inclusive or not, and if GST is applicable for this product. Below that, I've got my client description. So this is the description the client will see this product as on your proposals, invoices, etc. Rather than make it up, I'm just going to copy and paste a sentence from the vendor's website. Below that, I've got categories. So as you build up your product library, you're going to have a wide range of categories. So just another way of you staying more organized, you can create your own. I'm just going to pop this under desk, so I'm just going to click to create a new one. Below that, I've got my vendor, which is again my supplier. I'm going to hop in Globe West. Then I can go one step further and assign it to a project. So this is my Roselle Modern Home. From here, I want to go ahead and assign it to a room. So maybe I want to say Emma's bedroom. Click to create. Below that, I've got additional details. Most of this information is handy for purchase orders, but it also is good for your client to get a bit of a breakdown as well. So I'm just going to fill out as much information as I can. So I've got my color, I've got materials. I'm just going to make some of it up as well. I'm going to pop the dimensions in there. SKU, make up a number, manufacturer. So I always recommend as well popping in your recommended retail price. So that way, if you didn't charge your client full retail on your client price, rather than having to check your client library each time, you can have a quick sneak peek at the recommended retail price. If you don't charge your client full retail each time, it is always handy again to pop the RRP in this box as well. Let's just say, pretending that this product actually retails for $2,000, I'm going to pop it in there. I've then got my description for my vendor. I'm just going to again copy and paste this section here. Then I've got internal notes. So this is great to say if it comes assembled, if there's a lead time, special order, etc. Below that, I've got tags, which is just an easy way of you searching through your product library. So here I might say desk, oak, Globe West. Once I've filled all of that information out, I'm going to go ahead and click on Save to Houzz Pro in the bottom right hand corner. That's then going to tell me that, yippee, it's been saved, so I can continue clipping or see it in my Houzz Pro library. What I'm going to do is hop back into Houzz Pro, and first I'm going to open up my library. So this is going to give me access to all of the products that I have either clipped or manually uploaded in the past. So once I'm in my product library, I can see my first option there is my desk that I've saved. I can see all the information I've saved with it, including the direct link to the supplier. If anything changes down the track or I've added in a spelling mistake or the wrong piece of text, I can always come in and edit this. If I have a product from my maybe own library and I want to add this in, but it's not on an online store, I can always manually add this in by clicking on Add New Product. So that's going to allow me to fill all the same fields as the clipper, just manually. So you've always got that option as well. Once I hop back into my project, what I'm going to do is start a new mood board. So I'm going to click on Add a Mood Board. That's going to allow me to pick a room I want this assigned to. I'm going to go in with the Emma's bedroom one that we just created. Once I select OK, that's going to give me a blank canvas of my mood board. And on the right hand side, I'm going to have all of the products in this room available for me to select. So here I'm going to go ahead, click on that desk, and it's automatically going to go into the middle of my my mood board. So here I can come in and start resizing, move it around, and just pop it where I need it to be. I've also got my library, which is again my product library. So everything I've ever saved in the past, it's all going to come up here. So I can click on a product and start maneuvering and building up my room. So what I'm going to actually do is layer. So I'm going to pop this at the front so my desk is behind it, and just build up the room so my client's going to see exactly what I'm envisioning. Now I'm not a designer, so mine's never going to look the best, but just so you can get a gist of all of the tools that you can create. In the top left hand corner, we've got an upload tool. So this allows you to browse images from your computer, so you're not necessarily limited to your product library. We've got a floor plan tool where you can upload floor plans that you have created in the software. We've got color swatches, so you can come in and create any kind of color swatch and then have the detail in there, or if you want, you can disable the swatch detail. So we don't want to give the name and brand. Once we've done all of that, we can come in and also grab our text. So if we want to give it a title, we can come in and select text. We can choose the font. We can choose color, size, bold, or italic. So once I select in, I can say Emma's bedroom. Done. And then pop it where I need it. Another thing I can do by accessing my library is the first it should be a product, will be our logo. So once we do select that, again, we've got that branding aspect where we can pop it in our room. We've also got drawing pens, so we can maybe say that this product is a sample of this. We've got an actual pen or a line that we can create. And then if we need to, we've got a measuring tool. So we can say maybe this chair from here to here is 60 centimeters long. So once you've built that up, you can go ahead, click on Save in the top right-hand corner. That way it'll be saved into your project. Otherwise, you can come in and click on Print in the top right-hand corner. So what that's going to do is give you the ability, one, to print it off, but also what you can do is save your destination as save as PDF, and that way you can there print it off, bring to meetings, attach it to an email, attach it to another document. You can interact with it that way. So that is creating a mood board. I recommend starting there in your project. What I'm going to do now is hop back into my proposal. So I'm going to start along the process of actually putting these on a more official document to get the ball rolling for my project. So once I am back into my project, I'm going to navigate through to the other tabs that are available and click straight into proposals. So let that load up. Click into our proposal tab and create a proposal for the first time. So we've got the option to upload as well. So if you have created a proposal maybe in Excel and exported it to PDF, you've always got that upload option. Otherwise, you can click from scratch. That's going to give you a blank canvas within our software, which is what I recommend doing. And from there, you can go ahead and start adding in your items. Before we do that, we might want to customize the document a little bit in the very top left section. So first thing we can do is rename. By default, it'll say project 4, enter project name. We can always change this. We can also say by default, these prices include or exclude GST, and then a due date for payment or approval, however you want to structure your documents. From there, we can go ahead and start adding in our products. So we can click on Add Items, and that will give us our product library. So once you do add a product from your product library into a mood board and assign it to that room, for example, Emma's bedroom, it'll automatically add it in as a project draft. You can always sort your project draft by status, type, room, grouping, or even by newest or name. What you can do is just click on the plus symbol and that'll add it into your proposal, or you can just click on the title and it'll add it as well. Another thing you can do is click on the pendant and that'll give you your library. So again, everything you've ever clipped in the past, it's all going to come up here and you can add it into your room as well. Once you've added all of your line items, first thing we can do if we don't want to be that detailed is go ahead and customize it so images are hidden. The second thing we can do is go ahead and access again our library and open up our services opposed to just products. So if we need to, we can charge for a consultation, maybe an installation, designer fee, etc. So we can charge for our time as well as services. When you do create your services, if you don't add a cover image, you can always click on that and then choose the option of uploading a logo or a default pre-made icon. That way it just looks a little bit more professional rather than having a blank image. So I'm just going to pop my logo in both of those line items. Once we've customized our line items, if we need to, before we actually send this off to our client, we can always customize quantity, unit, price, everything we've added in at that clipper stage if we need to. Otherwise, we've also got the option of adding on a standard markup across all of our line items. So rather than the markup we've added in at the clipper stage for each product, we can come in and add an overall percentage. Another thing we can do is scroll all the way down, to the left of our document and have a look at our shipping. So if we do have shipping costs at this stage for each line item, we can always add that on. If needed, a shipping markup as well. So once we've done all that, we can scroll down to the bottom of our line items, which comes to payments. So depending on how you use your document, if you use it for payment rather than approval, you can come in and start scheduling payments. So you can come in here and you can say maybe for your proposal, you just want your deposit of X amount. So we can do dollar amount or a percentage. So let's just say we want an 80% deposit. I want this paid 15 days from when I created this document, or a custom date as well. Below that, we've got the ability to upload files. So maybe we've got care guides, instructions, anything like that. We can always upload files there. Otherwise, we've got T's and C's, which allows us to come in and create our own templates. And then if we need to, we can add in extra information in our memos. So let's just say we've got our bank details there. So once you've created that, what we want to do is go ahead and see exactly what the client's going to see before I send this off. Before I do that, I've always got more actions, which I always recommend just having a look of what your options are. We can go ahead and create spec sheets. So once you do create a spec sheet, it'll be generated and emailed to you, but it's a really good visual document that shows you the product, description, one product per page, showing you exactly what that looks like, which is better for old school clients if they don't want to go online and interact with a live document. You can always export each view of the product and send it to them that way. So once you're ready, you can go ahead, click on Preview and Share in the top right hand corner to see a more refined view. So first thing we'll notice is we've got our branding in the top left, each of our line items that if we need to, the client can click into and have a look at all of the images supported. And then we've got our services with our logo attached. And then below that, we've got financial details, terms and conditions, and memos. What we can do in the very top right is edit our document settings. So if we want to be a little bit more detailed, we can tick these boxes and show our client more information, as well as markup. What we also have is our payment schedule, so the client can see exactly how much is owed, what the title of that payment is, and when they need to pay it. So here I'm going to go ahead and send this off to my client, and I'm going to CC myself in. Once I send that off, what that's going to do is update my activity stream on my document. So I can always come in and see exactly when I sent it, when the client opens, when they've approved it, when they've signed it. All of that's going to update in my activity stream. What I can also come and do is log those payments. Let's just say I sent this off to my client, they've gone ahead and paid for the deposit in full. In the ideal world, what we want to do is log that payment. So what we need to do is go ahead, approve it on the client's behalf. Maybe they've approved it if they're paying for it, and then come into our payments section and log that. So we can say that the client's gone ahead and paid by, let's say, bank transfer, and they paid in full. So now we've got a 80% deposit paid, and we're ready to go ahead and move towards our purchase orders. So we can always have more of a breakdown on our right hand side once we've logged that payment, and we want to get the ball rolling at this stage. So we may want to go ahead and order all of our products. I'm going to go ahead and tick all of our products I want on a purchase order. I'm not going to tick my services. So once I've got that done, I'm going to scroll back to the top and create purchase orders. What that's going to do is automatically allocate the supplier that I've saved the product at the Clipper stage with, so I can go ahead and create purchase orders. It's going to generate those purchase orders. It won't send them off. It'll just sit there waiting for me, so whenever I'm ready, I can come in, interact with that document, and send it off if I need to as well. Just a quick sneak peek of things you can do within your document, which includes add tracking information, shipping information, log payments that you can mark that you've already paid your supplier with. I'll show you those capabilities now. So the first thing we have at the very top is linked document, so we can see exactly what document these products came from. Below that, we've got each line item. If we need to edit any costs, we can always do that, or we can add in shipping dates or side marks. Below that, we've got the same functionalities, so files, T's and C's, and memos. What we can come and do is add in our tracking on the very far right, so we can say maybe it's been installed, wrapped up, done. What I'm going to do is just quickly log payment again. That way I know when I look back at this in a week, month, whatever later, that I have already paid for these products and I don't need to worry about it anymore. Let's just pretend I've gone ahead, ordered them, suppliers turned around and said, hey, you've added this product in as here $800, but it actually retails for 900. There's a price owing. What I can actually do is come in and edit these costs on my invoice. So what I'm going to do is tick all of my line items and then create invoice. So that's automatically going to allow me to convert that payment over, and then from there, make any edits that I need. So we haven't sent this invoice off, we haven't approved it yet, so we can still make edits. I recommend starting off with a proposal, laying out all of your products, because at this stage, the client still might change their minds, they might want to add on products, remove products. That's a document you want to make edits on. From there, you want to order your products, get those delivered, get that all wrapped up, and then from there, you can go ahead, like we had, suppliers turn around and give us price differences. You can then come in and update all of those prices on your invoice. Just for this example, I'm just going to change the quantity rather than the price so we can see a dramatic price increase. What I'm going to do at this stage is the exact same thing that I did at the proposal stage. So I'm going to go ahead, click on preview and share, and send that off to my client. If you want, you can actually come back down and add in or edit your existing schedules. So this is our proposal payments that have already been paid. So that was the 80% on the proposal. Because we've gotten a price increase from proposal to invoice stage, it's now only 49%. And this is where we can come in and say maybe remaining invoice. If you want to create multiple schedules, you can always do that as well. Just click on schedule a payment and it'll automatically split the remaining left. So that's always an option as well. So what I want to do is go ahead, preview and share in the top right hand corner. Again, what that's going to do is show me what the client's going to see before I send it off, just so I can do a double check, make sure I'm happy with it. The client's got their previous scheduled payments as well as their upcoming. And then what I can do, let's just pretend, sent it off, client's paid for it. Awesome, we want to log that in our account. So I'm going to go back into my invoice, hop down to my payment section, and do the exact same thing as before. Log payment, client paid by maybe credit card this time, add our details in, done. So that is the recommended workflow from starting off with the product clipper, adding products into our library and to our project, assigning those to mood boards that we can then put on proposals, make those edits, pop them on our room mood boards, um, put them on our purchase orders, order those products, get them in, any price updates or differences, we can then charge to our client on a wrapped up final invoice. So that way we're not out of pocket and our client gets exactly what they need to get charged. So the whole project. Throughout that whole life cycle, you'll always come back into your project and be able to get that budget, make sure everything's on track. If we hop into our invoice tab, we've got a financial breakdown at the top, so we can see the total balance across all documents, what's been paid across all documents, and the balance remaining across all as well. When we're in our project, we've also got this more drop down where we've got a couple of more functionalities. Throughout the project lifecycle, we tackled most of the things that you'd come by day to day, but you've also got a lot of other functionalities throughout. So feel free to hop in and have a bit of a play with it. So that's the end of our training and demo portion of our webinar. So what we'll do now is go through the question and answer. So I'm going to go ahead, pull up all of the questions submitted throughout the webinar that we haven't gotten to already, and we'll go ahead and go through them one by one. So first question that I've got is, I'm currently on a starter package, but I do want to get more clients and build up my business. Is this possible? Good question. So when you are on that starter package, it is likely that you're not going to see most of your leads come through. So what we want to make sure we're doing is contacting the support team and just having a bit of a discussion on what Ultimate is, what it can offer you, how it's going to benefit you, and the pricing packages we have available as well, because again, it's all based on location for paid advertising. So what I recommend doing is clicking on Need Help in the bottom right hand corner, Again, we've got that help center, but for this situation, I'd recommend clicking Contact Us and submit a support request. So this is that screenshot I showed you in the beginning of the webinar where we can come through and navigate through all the drop downs and find what we need. Maybe we've got other, I'm interested in the ultimate package, how can you help me? Submit that off. Again, that's going to email through the support team and we'll get back to you and maybe set you up with a rep and they'll discuss everything that you need to know and you can make that informed decision from there. Another question we have is how do I track my time? So we can do that in a couple of different ways. First thing I recommend doing is hopping into your time and expenses tab. So what this will allow you to do is have a look at all of the time entries you've already created across all of your projects and also log new entries. So we've got the ability to log your time or your expenses. What I'll do is show you how to log time. It's the exact same process as expenses as well. So what we want to do is click on new entry in the top right. That's going to allow us to assign it to a specific project, a service, and then all of our financial details. If you want to create a new service, you just type it in and then click to create. I've then got my hourly rate. So you can obviously change this if you want to bill it to your client, but as my default, my hourly rate for sourcing materials is $15 an hour. I can then say, I don't want to charge this or bill it to my client. I'm just tracking my time to see how much time I'm actually spending. I've then got my GST rate, if this $15 includes GST, and then I can start tracking my time. So maybe I want to backtrack for last week. I can click on the calculator icon and then allocate a certain date. I can also log other entries. So again, I can log multiple sessions at once. I'm then going to come in here and say maybe 2 hours, 1 hour, and then just 30 minutes. I can then come in a description and say looking for fabrics, for example, and then upload any images or files I want as well, and then click on save. So that's then going to log those 3 new entries. Another way I can log my time is by clicking on the stopwatch icon in the very top right and start stopwatch. So what that's actually allowing me to do is go ahead, assign it to a project, again a service, hourly rate, description. So if I'm tracking as I'm going, if I'm sourcing materials in Globe West in another tab, I've got that stopwatch going. Let's just say 15 so minutes went by, I'm just going to go ahead, log my time, and what that's going to do is go ahead, save it in, so once I refresh that page, I'll be able to see that new entry. I could have multiple stopwatches going at once as well, so if I start that stopwatch for one project, I can have it going for another across a different service as well. So if you're multitasking and juggling tasks, like I'm sure we all do, we can go ahead and log across different services and projects. So I'll see if I can find another question. How do my clients receive my documents? Good question. So when you are in a project, what I actually recommend doing is even when you CC yourself into a document, you'll be able to see exactly what the client sees, which is a branded email. So I have your logo, your company details, and then the client can click into the link and have a look at the document you've created. Another thing you can do is share your client dashboard. So by clicking on Share Client Dashboard in the top right hand corner, you'll be able to see exactly what the client will see. Basically, the client dashboard is a one-stop shop for your client to have a look at everything about their project. So I recommend sending this to them at the very beginning of the project for them to have a look at all of the financial documents, all of the timelines, attachments, pretty much everything about the project in the one spot. So we can see all the details here, total paid, total outstanding, our timeline tool, attachments, and again, I recommend sending this to them at the beginning. So rather than them scrolling through emails to see an invoice sent a month ago, they can come on the dashboard and have a look at it all together. All you need to do is tick the boxes you want them to see. You can go ahead, add their email address in, customize the message, and then go ahead and send that off. Okay, so I think that's all of the questions we have time for today. Any questions that we didn't get through, what I'll do is I'll reach out to you guys all one by one with all the information you need to answer your question via email. So if we don't answer the question properly in the email or you have extra questions, again, feel free to use the Need Help button, contact us, and submit a support request. That's it for today's session. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to working with you all. Bye.